Okay, another Dark Law continuation after the first one. It's probably well after midnight, and it's still the 20th of February. Let me see what the time is. Oh, it's 17 after midnight. This is the diary of the Griever named John Weaver, which is me. Doing a lot of observations at this point over here. Besides taking care of my own medical issues that are slowly getting resolved, but not much. I still have other personal situations that still need to be worked on as well. I have to learn how to be grateful for what little I have. A roof over the head still, even though it's bug infested. Food that's more and more expensive these days. And what I would think is a pleasurable thing would be worse than what I can afford. Or how about my own personal security if I happen to go outside and not run into anybody armed with a battle vest, with a combat helmet, with a gun in it, a masked soldier, and they would have the flag of my country rounding up people because you have assholes who want to round up people and show how tough they are. I keep spouting off 18 USC 111. You can't do this. I mean, you really can't resist us because we have the ultimate authority. And you read the 18 USC 11 as it was yelled at by an originator of an existing law that passed a long time ago for the United States Code concerning about federal agents are like gods. You can't insult them. You can't do anything to them. But that's what they look at. But the actual law in itself, 18 USC 111, and I'm not shitting you. This is actually in there. Put it into Google. If I'm going to have to find it myself, I'll throw the link in the conversations, guys. I might have to do that. But it says in there, and this is why it keeps getting thrown out in the courts left and right, or either you get fined or find it out in the court on that one. If you had the money to go against the United States government, class action would work. But you need a hell of a lot more people for the class actions. You get in prison for a short time because you get tormented. Because Donald Trump cannot be insulted in any way, shape, or form. The law in itself is saying that you can't do anything to the federal agencies with force. Let me throw that again. Force used to detain the federal agents, to impede the federal agents from their job, from their duty, by force. You're a protester, and you're at a rally, and you're going head to head with the guys. You're yelling and screaming at their face. They look at it as show of force, and they try to arrest people as much as they could. But the protesters are not impeding, or trying not to impede. But they are yelling and screaming and pissed off at them. Our agents that used to be part of a law enforcement community that we respect like crazy, we reject, and we can't stand law enforcement anymore, apparently, because they cooperate with the federal and they're forcing our hands left and right. We have to show nonviolence, and we have to show that we're not impeding as much. But if we're going to be like linking hands to prevent, they would consider that being acted as force, and they throw out the 11. Or they would say that you're in a car, you're photographing, or trying to get the hell out of an area. They call it that they're being forced upon, and therefore they take action. Terrorist action. But they don't look at it as terrorist. They call it peace and security. If we looked at a U.S. history being taught to us, Patriotism is when we're showing that we are united in our beliefs and our common values, and we're showing that our right is righteous. Our goals are righteous. But the other side looks at us as dirty, rotten traitors. In a viewpoint that we were fighting against the British Commonwealth or the British Empire, we were the dirty, rotten traitors. We were the dirty, rotten traitors. And there was another technical term that we called them Tories. Tories who supported the British Empire and their decisions. We weren't fighting against the British people themselves. It was the representation of their government and the military we were fighting back in the 1700s, in 1776, that time. We fought against the military, fought against the redcoats. We demonstrated our resolve and announced our disillusionment to the crown, to the monarchy, to Parliament, who looked at us as third or fourth class citizens that they could just rob, pillage, and pilfer and plunder, and rule over with a gun, with a musket, well, without having any voice in a government system. We said, "Fuck it. You guys aren't listening. You guys are taxing us to death. And fill up your own fucking coffers because of your incessant war of resources, which you are wasting to feed your own amigos." And we warred, we fought, and we owed the bankers, but we had to have rules and regulations of how much we were going to be paying back and how much debt our country had accumulated for 250 years. We're trillions in debt. We got to be bankrupt at this point. We got the billionaires who want more and more. A few of them are sympathetic, but not enough of them. They want more and more and more. No wonder we keep writing stories and movies and theatricals and presentations of class warfare that we have. No wonder Karl Marx was going crazy with his books, because he couldn't stand class warfare. If we didn't have any classes, we wouldn't have any warfares, right? Wrong. We still have the guys with the ego and the guns who want more and more, and they're willing to clash. Unfortunately, with human nature throughout our lifetime, without our existence of our creation, this is what we've been fighting. Didn't matter what kind of label we put on it. This is what we've been dealing with throughout our lifetime. We fought among ourselves because we wanted, and we didn't care where we were taking it from, or who we were taking it from, or how many people we're going to be hurting, because we want. Our excessive need, our excessive greed, our excessive want of everything. It's like we look at the universe and we scream to it, "We want you now!" And the universe is like, "Fuck you. Prove to me that you can come out here and conquer us." Yeah, we'll throw it into our own theatricals and we show how much we're going to be conquering the universe. The thing is, we've got so much weaponry right now, we can kill ourselves 10 times over, 100 times over. We'll be a radioactive pile of ash. The survivors coming out of the bunkers and wondering what the hell happened. And then they got to deal with a planet that's devoid of resources. Then what do? Die off. I'm more worried about if we're going to be fried by the sun actually deciding by cosmic force and fate that we're going to get fried with a hell of a lot of radiation, overwhelming our own planetary defense of such an action, heating us up to a point where we're cooked. I've seen theatricals of predictions like that. And I've seen how solar energy that we've got, we want to capture all that solar energy so we have free, clean energy. Yeah, wait until we get fried by that damn energy. I've seen men's ambitions go wonkers that they want to conquer the universe. Well, you conquer the universe, and it is going to be taking a hell of a lot of sacrifice to get out there. Our own imaginations keep telling us this. Our own creations. We haven't developed enough of the science necessary to take more of a leap beyond the damn moon to go out and touch another planet in our solar system. And it will take us centuries, because the way we're screwing ourselves over with the science, we'll have other countries, other nationalities to do the conquering, and we'll have the politics fighting over each other. The universe is vast. Our solar system is vast. It's taken small pieces of ourselves in electronic form, representations, decades to get to the point where we're getting out of the damn solar system and into interstellar space. Well, we've launched Pioneer back in the early 70s. We've launched the Voyager series in mid to late 70s. And already we're getting responses back that they're coming close to the edge of the solar system and getting beyond the sun's effectiveness and radio range. That they're going to be the only ambassadors out there of a dead and dying people. Because we couldn't get our act together. The electronic signals, the electromagnetic energy that we're sending out in space, if they actually if anybody could actually decipher it, showing how we were creating modern day television back then of the 40s to our current time. The closer you would get to the planet, the more you would get the stronger broadcast until it's dead. Carl Sagan had written a book and created a television series back in the late 70s, early 80s. It's called Cosmos. It was fascinating reading for me back then. It still is fascinating reading right now. It is science, it is history, it is description, it is prophecy. For an astronomer that may have had some personal issues left and right, this guy had his brains there. He had helped formed the Voyager and Viking of robotics out there looking at the universe one way or another, of having a robotic digger landing on a planet in our solar system and taking the first shots of what Mars would look like and trying to analyze the soil. I remember the Viking landers, and it was history. And how much of a planetary society we kept contributing to this would help us maybe get past our own prejudice and everything else that we've got going on right now. I do these videos originally to help get me past my own emotional grieving situations that I've had for years. And I also talked about politics because how much it scared the hell out of me. The more I understand about the mechanisms of it, going through college. You know, it's just a community college level of education, but still a vast difference between what was filtered through K through 12, and then you see some of the other actual knowledge base and how it's structured and how our brains can explode on this one. Even for a 60-year-old like mine, who has had lifetime experiences of different things, of witnessing and going through stuff, of how much of human knowledge I don't know, how much I still need to share and talk to people about. My own fears, my own phobias, my own stresses, my own nightmares. What's happening to us right now? Are we making a difference any kind of way? Are all these videos going to be destroyed? Was one electromagnetic blast wave that'll destroy everything? We worried about such electromagnetic pulses coming from nuclear weapons before, microseconds before we get the radiation blast or worse than that. I made a joke to myself that when the nukes start falling, I would become part of ground zero. I did not want to survive and see how the human race was going to destroy itself because of ego. Not just fighting over resources, because our ego had driven us to the point where we wanted every resource out there. How do I justify this to future generations if they actually get clips of this? How do I apologize to the future generations of any survivors out there? There was a joke passed around to us through memes and other videos concerning about extraterrestrials. Are they real or are they not? And one particular former president was being interviewed by an independent producer. And the joke was being passed around left and right, whether or not if the president actually believed in it. But he wants to see proof. He thinks they're real, but he doesn't have any proof. But if he had proof, would that solidify him? Would that solidify the rest of the universe? And then we've got the gas bags out there, ones that we voted into the government system to theoretically rule over us, and they're overruling us. He wants all the data concerning about UFOs out. Everybody should be reading about UFOs. They're out there. We should be welcoming the aliens. The only thing I would say, if the aliens ever tapped into YouTube and saw a lot of our videos, I'd say run like hell. Avoid us like the plague. We have allowed our own damn emotional, egotistical, arrogant way of saying that we want it all. We can't get it all. We want more of it because we are an addictive society. We can't be happy or satisfied with anything. We can't follow rules and regulations or laws or guidelines or teachings that would have curbed us, calmed us, guided us. We got to learn it the hard way. We got to get ourselves kicked ass. We got to get ourselves destroyed. If there are any survivors of the human race watching this damn thing, yeah, I blame every one of us who chose this path, directly and indirectly, with actions and inactions, with words, with deeds, with no actions or words and deeds at all. We put ourselves into this pathway. And if our planet got destroyed because of us, it's our fault. It's not the powers of fate. We made this happen. We made everything happen. Our responsibility to our generations. We tried to leave legacies. But we destroyed those legacies because of our human arrogance. Our own egos wanted more than what the planet could sustain. And we fought over it until we all died from it. And if we have any ghostly emanations, we'll be haunting this damn thing forever. Because we'll never have enough, and even in the afterlife. There is never enough in the afterlife. There is nothing there in the afterlife except our own spiritual emanations, and that's about it. But if we want anything else beyond it, we can't have it. We can't have it physically once we're destroyed. And maybe it should be that way. Maybe somebody else should take over our damn planet. If there are any empires out there, if there are any cooperative governments out there in the universe, what the hell would they be thinking and judging us about? Looking at us and using either our own viewpoints or their own on what we're going to be like, what we should have been, what we could have been, and what we became. We're fucked. We're fucked. That being said,